All right, so now let's talk about the Audible game. Um, Anytime you come out in bunch, most people are going to make their adjustments really quick. They have some sort of an idea how they want to try to defend bunch, right? Everybody faces it. Everybody's got some sort of an idea how to defend it. Um, so what I like to do is I like to audible around. Obviously, I've got my five wide scheme and empty wide Texan, empty wide slot for when I face nickel 3-3-5. But I use two other formations when I'm trying to pass the ball and I try to just sneak plays in. The two formations that I use when I'm trying to sneak something in is going to be trips tight end offset, spread wide slot. So the main reason why I like them is because when I'm in bunch, it's either one click to the left, one click to the right. One click to the right gets me into spread, one click to the left gets me into trips tight end. I'm not sitting here scrolling through audibles to get to a specific play. It's just one of those, I see my opponent, I think I know what they're doing adjustment wise. Let me see if I can sneak this play in on them. So, what I like to do is I set up my audibles like this. I put X under in the trips tight end offset, and then in the spread, I put in and up, and I put read option. Now, the read option's completely up to you. You can leave inside zone if you want. I like the read option just because for people that like to shoot that B gap to stop the run, the read option doesn't give you that ability, so you can still do a decent job running out of that. So, with that being said, let's get into how this works. So, no matter what you come out in bunch, if you're facing an opponent that's in Tampa 2, one click to the left or one click to the right, we've got some plays that can beat cover 2. For instance, X under, we're going to just quickly drag the X receiver and hike the ball. That's it. Now, first and foremost, our primary read is going to be to this running back on the table route, right? This is a route that you see a lot of people throw. Out of this set, out of all these trips tight end sets, ace twins, stuff like that, it's extremely effective. So, when your opponent gets hit with this, the first thing they're probably going to do is they're going to try hard flats. Like most people will just simply hard flat and then they'll make their adjustments. A lot of people blitz, like I said. So if they go hard flats, that will take away the running back, but it's going to leave this corner out open. So basically at that point, if they go hard flats, they have to go play that. If they play the corner out, that's when the drag comes into play. And then otherwise, say they don't put the hard flats, say they make an adjustment like they just man up the running back, right? So this would kind of slow it down. Kind of. So at that point, if they do that, the simple drag would be a route that they have to respect. If they respect the drag, as I got screamed at, Jesus. If they don't respect the drag, you throw it, right? I'm not going to focus on throwing a drag route. But if they do, a lot of the times you'll see them bite down with their user, and I'll try to mimic that by putting him on a spy. So he'll bite down to play the drag, and they will man up the running back to take that away. So this theoretically would do a good job, but it leaves open this circle route, which is going to be that high point route that I broke down out of the 5 wide, out of 4 verticals, that you high point as soon as he makes his break. So boom, you see he bites down, he makes his break, you high point, you get that old school rocket catch type animation. So right off the bat, with one quick click to the left, now they have to respect 5 different routes, because the tight end route can still get open if they put hard flats. So you put hard flats and say they manned up him to take that away, then the tight end would get open, as I'll show you right here. See, boom, right over the top of him, tight end's open. So every route has to be accounted for in that play. Now also, whenever I hit somebody with that a lot, they start making crazy adjustments. So they will take, they'll start manning people up, they'll do all sorts of stuff where they're, over aggressive with it, and that's when you can mix in 4 verticals. So with 4 verticals, or verticals technically, you just want to hike the ball, or excuse me, not hike the ball, but you want to just max protect, and you want to drag the tight end. Now when you do that, you're going to see you have the ability to throw this inverted streak down the middle of the field. That time, for whatever reason, he stayed in the middle of the field, so I could have thrown it to the outside guy. We'll go ahead and do this again. Here we go. Drag the tight end. I'm just going to start maining up people like you would typically see. And here you see, as soon as the safety turns his hip, I'm going to go to the instant replay to show it to you. As soon as this safety, you see how he's backpedaling, and then he turns his hip to go guard this outside guy, that's when you can bullet pass this to the inside. See, like, he's putting his hands up because he knows it's a touchdown. You can throw that pass really quickly, and it's just something that your opponent has to respect, right? So now they have to respect the deep middle of the field. Once they start doing that, that's when you can start hitting them with the PA crossers. With PA crossers, you block the running back, fade the tight end, drag square, and then now all those crossing routes, all those things that your opponent was doing, they have to respect, and then you also have this post route over the middle of the field. So basically, I'm utilizing this little quick setup on PA crossers to kind of mimic PA slot wheel at a trips tight end. It's very similar in the sense that you have the fade, you have the deep crosser that has to be manually guarded, you've got an underneath route, in this case the drag, and then you got a post that also attacks the deep middle area of the field. So that is a nice little quick scheme to mix in. And then let's talk about spread. So spread is another one where you have the 4 verts, right? So you can just come out, 2 fades, you can block the running back if you want. If your opponent is blitzing you, so say they're doing this right here, say they're blitzing, they're going to have to pick one of the fades. If they don't, so boom, high point. If they are in coverage, say they just, sit in the Tampa 2, say they bite down with, the setup I do at that point is I max protect and I'll drag. So basically I'm blocking the running back, I'm dragging. If they respect this drag route at all, you'll see that you will have the ability, if I get the time, to throw over the top down the middle of the field to that inverted streak route. I really love these inverted streaks, but also in the play in and up, what I'll do is I'll max protect, I'll streak the triangle receiver right here, and then what I'm looking to do is I've got the unbumpable fade to the outside left. So pretty much I'm just going to throw a bullet pass to the outside. Now that right there, it's an unbumpable fade that got bumped. I can't explain that one. But we'll go ahead and do this again. You'll see he's always going to get that outside release. So do this. Streak to keep the free safety a little bit occupied. You've got the backside hitch if they get too aggressive, but that's the route you're looking to hit. You're looking to hit that outside fade route that's going to get over the top of the clouds. And you'll see that it's going to happen every single time. That outside release makes it to where the safety can't get over there and play it. The streak takes the safety deep enough to where you can fit this pass in. And you see there's still 5-6 yards of separation between the cloud flat and the safety. So, I mean, it's an easy pass to throw. If they manually bolt to go play that, you've got the hitch route on this back side on, I guess, to Watson. Now, the outside right receiver is good just in case, they just audible to like a man coverage or, you guess wrong, something like that. That route will beat for a one-play touchdown in most scenarios. So you'll see right here. Well, it didn't actually work. Probably because I'm going against a legend team. But that route can beat man coverage deep. But primarily you're looking to hit the outside fade or the hitch ran by Watson. And then the final play that I wanted to talk about real briefly is going to be PA read. PA read gives you the deep crosser. So you would do this setup right here. Dual drags and the fade, and now they've got to respect this deep crossing route, which will get open over the top of clouds if you get a little bit of time. Brightness mode not cooperating like normal, but you'll see fade, drag, block the running back, another drag. You'll see that you will be able to throw either the drags underneath or the deep crossing route. Obviously, you would probably want to be running the crosser to the wide side of the field as opposed to the short side of the field. But yeah, like I said, just a nice little mini scheme, basically. This is not something that you're going to be able to run all game long, but you can definitely catch your opponent slipping with this. And it's just, like I said, it's something that, you know, forces your opponent to do something that they don't really want to do. Kraus is playing perfect, but yeah, like I said, mini scheme, don't want to focus too much into it, but it's just definitely stuff to mix in. I like it because it's a quick audible from left or the right, depending on what you want to run. All of these plays, whether it's X under, whether it's verticals, you know, 4 verticals or in and up, they can all essentially be huge gains if you just, you know, hit your opponent with them at the right time. I like to go to X under in short yardage situations. Basically, either dumping down to the running back, or if my opponent does over adjust and puts hard flats, you have the corner, you have the drag, you have the deep crosser. Verticals is specifically a cover 2 if you catch them with no mid read. And then in the spread, in and up is one of those plays where you look, like if you know they have cloud flats on the outside, you can hit them with in and up. But just know, it's one of those things you're not going to be able to hit them with probably more than once, because they will adjust to it. We don't have a really good scheme in terms of other plays that they have to respect, that, you know, their primary read at that point will then be to adjust to that route. But that one route can get you a huge first down or even a touchdown, depending on what your opponent's doing. 4 verticals is very similar to the other one, but it's just a nice little, you know, something to mix in that your opponent still has to respect the deep part of the field. PA read, good against man coverage, good against any sort of match. That's the main reason why I like that play. Same thing with the PA crossers. So 2 formations that are really good at attacking cover 2 that, you know, don't have a true scheme behind it, but, you know, you can mix in the plays just to give your opponent something, another thing to respect, right? If they're constantly facing bunch, they're constantly facing 5 wide, they might get into some sort of rhythm to where they could slow it down. You mix this in, and your opponent really is going to, you know, think we're just calling random plays at that point. Just because most people don't run 5 wide. They don't run, you know, spread. They don't run the trips tight end offset, right? So they're not really going to have known adjustments for it. And that's really the key, in my opinion, is, you know, we're always going to be one step ahead of our opponent, you know, offensively, while they're trying to, you know, guess what we're trying to do on the defensive end. So that's the Audible game that I use. Like I said, now let's get into the run game. And once again, the run game that I do use will be out of single back bunch and single back doubles.